Cool. All right. Sweet. Got that gimbal going.
So it follows you? Jeez, man. I gotta talk to you about that.
It's the Insta360 Flow gimbal. So it's a gimbal, and then it can track you, and
It's amazing.
got the stabilization in it. It's not too bad. What? Look into hook it to drones? No, you can't hook that to. I mean, maybe, but
It's just constant.
it'd be really top heavy. Yeah, yeah.
Oh, but you can get a drone with a camera on it. Have that
I used to do that. I used to make them.
Really?
Yeah, I fly them. I raced them too.
drone racing.
Yeah. Yep. In Wisconsin.
I've seen it done at the warehouse. It was pretty neat.
Yeah, I did the outside stuff, like the big ones, the 5-inch, 6-inch, 7 inches.
It's little tiny.
Yeah, these are the micros.
They run them through like
The hoops.
squares.
Tiny whoops. They're called tiny whoops, yeah. Yeah, they're fun.
Only one guy crashed. He was coming around the corner and he made it through the triangle. And
Yeah.
he didn't make the door frame. He smashed right into the brick wall.
Great. Those things are durable, though. That's why those are so good, because you can just run them into anything.
There was some shit left.
What? Really?
Mark just laying on
Oh
the
my
floor.
God. Well, there are different styles. Like some are like more like they got the big ducks around them and stuff, or there's like the ones that are more like lightweight and they'll just like, blow to simmering.
Considered more of a beginner's kind of event.
Oh,
So
gotcha.
everybody was pretty much a rookie.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, sweet. It's fun. Yeah, you can join just like a league, and then they usually do like once a week on Saturdays or everywhere. Yeah.
I got no hobbies.
What are yours?
That's mostly.
Jet skiing? Oh, that's cool. I'm not into that. I've never done that actually.
Really?
Yeah, really.
I go back and forth across the lake all the time.
That's cool. I rode on one once backwards. That's it. That's all. That's all I got. That's all I got. So, all right.
Good workout, man. Try it.
Have you done any drugs?
Yeah.
They even go from what's the Harvard and Navy Pier?
Yeah.
It's 120 miles.
All right, y'all. We're at 10:20, so we'll get going.
Yeah.
If you haven't, scan the QR code, because what it's going to do is basically send you a video of this. So like once I get it up, I'll get it on YouTube. It'll send it to you, and then you'll get a workshop. It's basically like a worksheet that will give you all the exercises that would be like good mobility exercises to do for your shoulder. And then we're going to do a gift. I won't tell you what it is. I'll pick it randomly, and we'll send one gift to somebody. And then we're going to do an event special. So everybody that was here, you get a special. Okay? So, sweet. So what we're going to do is we're going to be basically standing and sitting. So like if you want to just get comfortable for the very beginning, we're going to do like a quick intro and then go into it from there. So you can sit on the ground, we can sit on the floor. And actually, can we like maybe spread these out a little bit, because we'll need a little bit more room. And the camera is just like pointed on me, so like you won't really be in it, just so you know, okay? For cybersecurity purposes, it'll be on me, okay? So, all right. Everybody scanned? I'll just go like this. It's just name, first name, last name, email, phone, and then I'll send it to you. Okay, y'all, while you're doing that and getting that signed in, I'll just explain who I am and why I'm here. So I'm Dr. Jake. I am an owner of a private physical therapy practice in Grace Lake. I have my practice in CrossFit Kilter right now. So I focus on CrossFit athletes, group fitness, yoga, like pretty much active individuals looking to stay out of pain, specialize in shoulders. So I do take cash. That's my primary method of treatment because it offers the ability to treat the whole body, not just one body part. So it's a lot more effective. You can get better results. But I do take Blue Cross Blue Shield as well. So Blue Cross Blue Shield PPOs is what I take. What else do you need to know about me? So that's pretty much it from the business side of it. I do recovery sessions, physical therapy. We do exercise programming for like people that want to have an exercise program and meet the results, whether it's weight loss or like PRing on, snatches, whatever. I do all the programming for that. What else do I do?
What kind of?
What kind of PT?
Yeah.
So I'm like a sports physical therapist, but I specialize in shoulders and back and spine. So, but I can see any body part basically. And then, like I said, I do recovery sessions. So if you're like, it's kind of like a massage, a chiropractic, a physical therapist, all in one session, you can do that. Yeah. So great question. So I do manual. So I do cupping, scraping, flossing, deep tissue, soft tissue massage, joint mobilizations like cracking and popping. I can do all that stuff. What else? Is there any? I have a heated scraper, so it heats up to 130, and you can scrape the tissues that way. And then I use some hip mobilization, like a hip mobilization belt that I can mobilize hips and get a lot more range. So what I wanted to do is, I know some of you, but I want to just kind of go through and can you just give me your name and if you're struggling with shoulder pain? If you don't want to disclose that information, that's fine. Or just like, what do you want to learn today so I can like tailor this to you? So we'll just start over here. Mr. Nick.
Hi guys, my name is Nick. The main thing I deal with, I don't know if it's my shoulder or my upper spine, but like, I feel like I don't have scoliosis, but sometimes I just feel like my spine, everything's tucked and just like, you know what I mean?
Spine tucks in.
Yeah, my upper back is sometimes around.
Like that?
I really work at it.
Uh-huh.
I feel like it always tries
Okay.
to go back.
That's a good one. Do you want to share anything? Sean? Both shoulders. Pain or like surgeries? No surgeries, but pain.
I've been to the doctor recently. I have pulled the tendons all over with both shoulders all the way up. And on this side, I have the extra tendon that goes from the back. I'm pulling that.
Okay. You ripped it?
I pulled it.
You pulled it? Okay. Gotcha. Thank you for sharing.
I don't have enough time to tell you all of my issues.
That's
but
fine. You're good.
Now both of my shoulders are bothering me. I have a torn labrum and a partial torn rotator cuff on my right side.
Okay.
I can almost guarantee it's probably on this side too.
Got it.
Trying to avoid surgery, so I did
Yeah.
PT, and I was just trying to look it up. I did not stem cell, but that injection, blood thinner injection.
Yeah. Therapy.
I did PT for several months, so I'm working my way back.
Okay.
I just still have like some bicep tendonitis.
Okay.
Pulling in front. I also do the bearing around my shoulders.
Okay. Yeah. We'll talk about it. Great. Awesome. Thank you.
My upper body's good, my lower body's bad.
Okay. That's fine. You can listen. Yeah, she's good. Yeah. No, thank you for being here. Okay. Perfect. Okay. Got it. Thank you. Okay. Okay. Got it. Thank you for sharing. And
multiple others, and then I have trouble with doing things that I control my right shoulder.
got it. Thank you, Em. All right. And I just wanted to share one thing too. So I wanted to share one thing I was going to tell in the intro is like, I'm here because I partner up with a lot of CrossFit gyms. So basically, I think you're the fourth gym that I've been a part of. So I've worked with CrossFit Kilter, CrossFit CXX, CrossFit Freedom, now CrossFit, not CrossFit Wakanda. It changed. CFW Fitness. So that's why I'm here now. I'm kind of making my rounds. I do probably 1 to 2 workshops a month on this stuff or different free community events. And I actually like that you guys are sharing. You've had surgery, or you'd want to prevent it, or you had like bicep tendonitis, or like strains or labral tears, because all this stuff can be kind of either treated and or prevented with what we're going to go through today. So, and I'll kind of talk about why. So, first off, thank you for all sharing. What we're going to get into next is just a movement screen, you guys. So for this part, you are going to stand. So and just have enough space for yourselves because you're just going to kind of move your arms around. We're going to walk through a screen that I do with everybody when they come into the clinic. So this is just like a one-to-one, but one-to-many. So what you're going to start with is you're going to take your thumbs and you're going to point them up, and you're going to go up over your head, and I want you to do about 3 to 5 of them, and I want you to see how far back you can get your arms, and don't try to arch your back. Go ahead and just kind of do a couple of them. When you do this, I want you to look for pain, clicking, popping, tightness. What does it feel like? And if you were doing this on your own, you're going to write like you would write on a piece of paper, I feel pain here. This is the number of pain. This is when I felt it, and that way you can keep track. Okay, so keep track of that because we're going to then use this later on in the seminar. Okay? All right. Any pain with this one so far? Not too bad? Okay. And you want your forearm to get to your ear, you guys. Or behind you. Little tightness. Little tightness here. Tight. Yeah. All right, now thumbs out to the side. You're going to come out here, and I want you to see if you can get your forearms to your ears now. Now, if you had a mirror, what I would look at too is is one side higher than the other, or are they equal? Do you feel any tightness in your mid-back with this one? Okay, so pay attention to all that, and if you have pain. All right, next one is field goal. So you're going to have your arms out like this, separate it, and then go as far back as you can go. Turned off my thing. Sweet. So with this one, you should be able to go all the way back into 90 or farther. Okay? You feel tightness in the front, you guys? Anybody? A little bit? Okay? See a little tightness. You guys are actually not too bad. Your flexibility is pretty good. All right, behind the back. So one at a time, behind the back. Go as high as you can go. Okay.
If you shut it up.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. And then do your other one.
My right is
Way tight.
Oh my God.
And then next one, you guys, this one is for impingement. You're going to put one arm out, other arm here, and you're going to lift it up, get your elbow as high as you can go. Tell me if you have any pain, and then you're going to switch and do your other side. Any tightness or pain there? A little bit? Yeah, people are saying here. Okay. All right. So now you guys can kind of relax a little bit. I'm going to sprinkle in some education. So if you want to sit, you can sit, otherwise stand. So what we're going to talk about is we're going to talk about a really important topic, but this topic, honestly, you could go days talking about this. It's called impingement. So most people, when they come to me, they say, I have pain here. I strained my tendons. It hurts really bad. What do? I think I might need surgery or something, right? But then when we actually do the testing, we find that you actually just have impingement. Impingement, what that is so we have our shoulder joint, right? It's a ball and socket. So the ball sits in the socket, and then it spins around, and that's what gives us 180 degrees, or 360 essentially, almost in every direction, right? But the confusing thing about that is that this cup is actually your shoulder blade, okay? So if your shoulder blade doesn't move, the ball is going to pinch on the rim of that capsule, and that's where you get your labral tear. Okay? So over time, if you don't have a good shoulder blade mobility, that bone is going to pinch on that capsule and tear the labrum and cause issues. So that's why a lot of people have issues with snatches, because that's a very open position, and you need your labrum to hold it in. And if you don't have good shoulder blade mobility and stability, that's when you end up having issues down the road. So when Nick said I have back stiffness, that's actually a little bit of shoulder blade mobility issues too. So that's why it's important for him to want to work on that so he doesn't have issues with his shoulder blades and has pain. Okay? So what we're going to do next is we're going to do a little experiment. So I'm kind of skipping ahead here. I want you guys, So when you guys do ring rows, do you have any pain? Like ring? Okay. 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 Can't go back. What about push-ups? Pain with push-ups, anybody? Pain with push-ups, yes. Okay. Tightness. Pull-ups. Handstands. Yes. Okay. Okay. Overhead squats, snatches.
And not like power.
Yeah. Okay. So you guys are having some pain with some of the things that I generally treat with people. So let's do that. How many people have pain with push-ups? Like a couple? Okay. Go ahead and just let's just have everybody grab like a really lightweight. It doesn't have to be like something you're going to lift. You're just going to use it on the ground. So let's just grab some dumbbells, you guys, and walk through that. Yeah, go ahead. No, you're good. Yeah, thanks for coming. Yeah, we'll do one. We'll do a back one, like close to your chain. Yeah, we'll do that. And we can be in touch too if you want to. So I was going to say at the end, like we're going to do like a special. So like $89 if you want to come in for a total body eval. Okay. We can do that. Or you could do it like a Blue Cross. If you have Blue Cross Blue Shield insurance, you could do that. And then you can always, like if you do the 89 thing, you can submit a super bill to your insurance, try to get reimbursement too. Yeah. Sometimes it's not that good, but it's something. Yeah, we'll be in touch. All right. Okay, you guys. So what we're going to do, we're going to show you how with the change of your arm bone in the socket, how you can decrease pain with pretty much any lift. Okay? So what I want you to do is you're going to take, what was that? Okay. What you're going to do is take your hands and I want you to put your thumbs together. Okay? You're going to go over your head and then just feel what that feels like. Might feel pinchy, restricted, tight. Turn your thumbs out a quarter turn and then do it. And then do another quarter turn. And then another quarter turn. And what you notice is that as you turn your thumbs out, you're going to open up the joint space and it's going to feel less tight. Okay? So if you're pressing and you're doing a shoulder press, strict press, and it hurts, the modification would be dumbbells, neutral grip, so that you have more mobility and more joint space. Okay? Same thing, like CrossFit's hard because you don't have like neutral pull-up bars, but like that would be one way to do it. Or if you're doing rings, instead of a pronated grip, you do a neutral. Okay? So if you have pain with your rowing, go neutral grip instead of pronated. Okay? So let's have you put the dumbbells on the ground. What you're going to do is you're going to do the dumbbells. You're going to do dumbbells here, and then you're going to rotate it, and you can just try different angles and see which one feels better, okay? So you can either be fully pronated, partially, like if you have shoulder issues, be careful. Maybe start with the 45 if you have shoulder issues, and then you're going to go into the neutral and see what you feel, okay? You should feel more joint space when you do the one that is fully neutral. And this goes with everything else that we talked about. So, like we said, strict press, rows, we said bench, what else? Snatches. Snatches, that one you can't, obviously it's hard to change your hand position on the bar, but what you can do is create more lat pull to get you more into external rotation. So, like if you're holding on to your bar, right, and you're in snatch, you're up here. If you are squeezing your shoulder blades and lats and kind of squeezing this down and in, you're going to create more external rotation, which is gonna give you more joint space and stability. Okay, sweet. What'd you guys feel with this? Did you feel a difference? Maybe, maybe not. Oh yeah. Easier at the 45. Okay, yeah, preference, sure.
I mean, I felt the best range of motion when it was like.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. Perfect. Okay. All right. Now everybody's gonna get a staff stick. So we're gonna hand those out. I'll take one, Nick.
Oh, sorry.
You're good. You're good, man. All right. So you probably have seen this one before, but we're just going to walk through like a quick shoulder mobility warm-up that you can do prior, right? So you're just going to do your pass-throughs. I want you to grab really wide on your bar, and then you're just going to see if you can go all the way around. You should be able to go all the way around, touching each side, the front of the belly, the back of the belly, okay? And then as you want to improve that, you're gonna shimmy your hands in and then do it there, you know, and that's gonna make it harder. So go start really wide and then start bringing it in narrow. Good. So that one you would do like 10 times or so, 20 times before you start lifting. Next, you're gonna do the around the world. So you're gonna spin it all the way around, you know, 5 times one direction. Perfect. Yep, if you get stuck, go the other direction. And then you're gonna go the other way. So 5 that way. Yeah, if you get stuck, just, so like if you get stuck, just come back that way, like that. Yep, perfect. Okay, sweet. Good, okay. So that's just kind of a quick mobility drill that you can do with the PVC. It's good. And now we're going to kind of go into that screen that we did, okay? So you guys looked really good here. So this one looks good, like reaching up over your head. But I'm going to show you, if you had limitations there, what you would do, okay? So basically, how you treat all of this stuff is how, yeah, you can set it down, you guys. You can set the stick down. So how you treat all this is basically what you did to test it, that's how you treat it. So with this one here, flexion, what I would want to do is I basically am going to try to get myself to get into more of this flexion. So how do I do that? I can use a foam roll, and I can use that to arch and get my back to extend and work on back mobility to target Nick's piece with the back. So I could maybe put a dumbbell in my hands or something to get a little more leverage with a foam roll, work on that back mobility. Or I go up to a wall, right, here, and now I'm going to just go into shoulder flexion, like that. So I'm going to stick my butt back and do that. Let's have you guys do that for me. So we're going to go up onto the wall. If you have pain, do not do it, or tell me so we can modify, okay? So hands are on the wall, and then you're just going to sit your butt back, kind of like you're squatting. So you want your feet a little closer, Em. Closer. Closer, yeah. Perfect. Yeah, and if it hurts, if it's pinchy, then you bring your arms down a little bit. Yep, and you're just going to sit your butt back. Perfect. Nick's doing it really good, so he's arching through this area. You want to arch through this area here. Okay? Perfect, you guys. Good. And then come out of it. What I like to do with this one is oscillate. So you're going to go into it for a second, come out of it. Go into it for a second, go out of it. So you're just going to go forward and backward 10 times, and that's just going to help loosen up your shoulders to get into more flexion. So if you're doing snatch, this would be a good one to practice your snatch. Before you snatch, I should say, your warm-up. Good. All right, just because we're running out of time, we're going to move on to the next one. Okay, turn and face me. Stay by the wall. All right, so next one, we did this one, right? So we did this. This is checking your pec minor, your pec. Put my hand up. Okay, so what you're going to do now is we're going to do a pec stretch. So you can either do it on the wall or you can do it on the rig. Let's do it on the rig because it's easier. You're going to put your hand up on the rig. We're going to teach you how to do a doorway stretch. Okay, you can do this in the doorway of the rig. So put your elbow on the rig, 90 degrees, and then you're going to step with that opposite foot in front, and you're gonna rotate away. So you're gonna look away from your hand. Perfect. Yes, yes, yes. Perfect. Yep, yep. So then now you're gonna turn your head that way. So here, yeah, here, and then rotate that way. Yep. So looking left, yeah, you're looking right, perfect. Yeah. So that's your pec major. Now, let's have you do your pec minor. So that's the one a little above it. You're gonna raise up your arm a little bit, make it higher on the rack. So now instead of it being 90, you're gonna go 45. Now you're gonna turn away there. That's gonna be a little bit higher on there. That's pec minor. This one's usually really tight. The reason this is important is because if this is tight, this increases your chances of that impingement that you feel, okay? All right, switch your hands, try the other one. Try your other side, if you haven't already. Yep, so you're doing your pec stretch. This one you can, again, hold 20 seconds, 30 seconds, and do it like for about a minute to 2 minutes of stretch time, or you can just oscillate in and out of it again. So now I'm gonna intensify it for you guys. I want you to take your head and you're gonna tip it away from the arm that's stretching. So if your right arm is up, you're gonna tip your head to the left. Like tip your head away, like you're stretching your neck. And you might feel it even more, right? Cool. All right, and then relax, good. So that's gonna free you up here. So now try that one again and try to get your arms back. Might feel a little looser. Yeah? Yeah, nice. That's nice mobility there. All right, cool. Now you're gonna do internal rotation. So that was this guy. So now you're gonna take your PVC, you're gonna put one hand behind your back, and now you're gonna pull that PVC up into a slight pull, slight discomfort. You don't want this one severe. Pull it up, hold it a little bit, and then relax. So I, again, like to oscillate it. So I like to pull it up, pull it down. Pull it up, pull it down. Again, slight discomfort on this one. And then switch it up and do your other one. So pull it up, and then let it relax a little bit, and do that again. Okay? So that's for that internal rotation. Cool. And then the last one is if you were struggling to get this motion, abduction. So you guys all looked really good with this one, so it doesn't really matter too much. But if you did, you would take your hand and you would put it on the top of the PVC, grab the PVC here, and you're gonna bring it up like that. So use your other hand, your good hand, to pull that arm up. Make sense? Yeah? And then try your other one. So like if you were tight, that's what you would do to do that. But again, you guys have good range. Okay? How are we doing on time? Getting there? Okay. So you can put your PVC down. Let's talk about the bicep now. We're just gonna finish up with bicep and then Q&A. So a lot of you guys said, I have pain here, bicep. Why does that happen? Okay? This is something that I see all the time, and this is where other PTs go completely wrong. All right? Other PT, huh? Yeah. But anyway, so there's a reason why I've seen people with torn rotator cuffs, all four of them. They're told they're supposed to get surgery, and then I go to a workshop. The guy hands me the MRI report and says, "Hey, I've got 4 torn rotator cuffs. My surgeon wants me to get surgery. Should I get surgery?" And I was like, "Why don't you just come in and just see what everything looks like?" We did a full screen on this guy, the total body diagnostic, and through 6 sessions, he was able to do everything in CrossFit without surgery. He never had to go get one. I swear to God. I swear to God. So, but yeah. So, yeah. So, because what happens is what people miss is they miss lat tightness, they miss the shoulder blade mobility, and then they end up just treating symptoms, okay? So like one of the things that this guy had was he had bicep pain, and the reason he had bicep pain was because of a couple things. He had some tightness in his pec that rounded his shoulders, kind of like what Nick said. I feel like my shoulders are tight, so that meant he had tight pecs, and he probably had a weak back in comparison, and lacking mobility in his back. So that meant that all of his lifts, like imagine if you are lifting weight in front of you and you have poor posture and you're here and you lift up, you are basically using your bicep to press that weight up, okay? And I want to kind of show this. So watch this. If I take my posture and I make it shitty, and then I lift my arms up, and this is as high as I can go, right there, and it feels pinchy as heck, okay? But if I just take my head back, I can go a little farther. If I take my shoulders back, I can go a little farther. If I engage my shoulder blade, I can take it even farther, okay? So without all those other little pieces, you're just basically putting a Band-Aid on one section, and you're not going to fix your full mechanics. So this tendon will just get overloaded every time. So if you're pressing, you're just overloading your bicep tendon instead of actually using your shoulder blade to throw it all the way up, okay? So that, I don't mean to throw other PTs under the bus, but I've seen so many people that have done 6 months of rehab with PT somewhere else, and they're better in 6 visits with me. And it's just like, what the heck? We're just wasting time. We're just wasting time, okay? You just have to be really specific about what you're doing. So to answer that question with bicep tendonitis, yes, one of the treatments would be maybe scraping, cupping to just make that feel a little bit better in the short term, but the long term is actually looking at your lat mobility and tightness. So that's what we're going to do next. So we're going to do a little bit of a lat stretch. So I'm just going to, because we're short on time, I'm just going to show you the couple options, okay? Lat stretch 1 would be on a rig, right? And you could do like just a lat stretch here. You could do it on here, and you're just going to sit that back and get into a lat stretch. You can have your band attached to the top, the pull bar, and you're just sitting back into a lat stretch here. If you want more, you're going to rotate that way to get more pull here, or you can do it this way for a lat stretch, right? Or you can do the kneeling prayer stretch here, but you got to have something in your hands so that you don't cheat. So you're going to be here, supinated grip, so palms up, and then sit back here. Okay? That's how you can get a lat stretch. What is that? Less painful. It's necessary. Yeah. Okay? So stretching out those lats. The last one we're going to do is I want all y'all to get on the ground. You're going to go on your stomach. If you can. If you can't, you can do it sitting. Okay, we're going to look at strength. So what you're going to do, you're going to go thumbs up in the sky. You're going to make a T with your arms. Okay? And then I want you to lift up, keep your head semi down. I know it's the floor, the dirty floor, but now lift your arms up and make a T. And you should be able to do this without feeling it in your neck. So do not feel this in your neck at all. Only feel it on the outsides of your shoulders and the shoulder blade. So here and here. Okay? Here, here, here. Here, here, and here. Feel it there?
How do you not feel it in your neck?
How do you not feel it in your neck? Okay. So if you're feeling it in your neck, what I want you to do is I want you to pull your shoulder blades down like towards your feet. Okay? So leave your arms where they are. So here, and then pull this down like that, and then do it. There you go, Em. Yep. Okay, now you're going to get into the harder one. You're going to get into a Y. So put your arms up into a Y position out in front of you. Thumbs up again, and lift up your arms there. So this is the Y. Again, don't feel it in your neck. Do like 3 or 4 of them. And now we're gonna get into the W. So now in the W, you're gonna make a W with your hands. And you're gonna lift your arms up, squeezing those shoulder blades. All the way back, Nick. Yeah, you gotta strengthen that, buddy. All right, lift it up. Yeah, all the way. Yeah, and then back down. Yeah, so we gotta work on that.
Oh, so you lift them this way?
Yep. So here, and then see if you can really squeeze it. I know you can go farther than that. Right there. And then bend your elbows. Cramping is so dehydrated. Yeah, so squeeze right here. There you go. And then down. There you go, Em. Good. So that's W. And then the last one is A's. This one's the easiest. Hands behind you like you're making an A, letter A, and then bring your arms back behind you. Like that. Behind you.
Yeah, but like down
Here.
or up.
Yep, like that. And then here. Yep, you got it. Yeah, easiest. You feel in the front? Okay, so if you feel in the front,
So for me,
squeeze that.
it's too little here, and I can't.
Yeah. So we're gonna, I'll talk about that real quick.
Are you supposed to have your shoulders rotated out when you do that?
No, yeah, leave them like that.
Like this?
So relax
Versus like
here
this?
and then pull this back.
Okay.
If I do it correctly, I go forward.
Okay. All right, now you guys can sit up. And I'll just put this into the Q&A. So, all right. What's your name? Megan. Okay. Yeah, ask your question.
So for all those,
Yes.
should we do that like
When? Yeah. So, what was that?
You do it against the wall instead of on the floor? Or no, do you need gravity?
You want gravity. You can do it on a fitness ball to make it a little easier, so it's semi inclined. Okay, to answer your question, you want to do this probably like 2 or 3 times a week. You could do this as a primer. You could do it as a primer. You could do it as a primer or warm up prior to your workout. So you're just basically activating your low trap and everything before you do any snatches, presses. Like that would be a good thing to throw in. Like in a warm up, just do like, 10, 12 reps just to get them going. And there are other ways to do that. You can do them with bands. We can talk about it. Band ways to do it instead of being on the ground. You can kind of do the W's. You can attach it to the rig and do a Y, right? You can do pull aparts to do the T's. Like you can do it easy that way. To answer your question about feeling it here, okay? So this goes again into the bicep thing. So if your shoulders are rotated forward, like if we think of posture, I actually had someone yesterday in my clinic, or Thursday in my clinic, struggling with this, and it's a really good example. So we put like a dot on her shoulder here, and I said like, try to bring your shoulders back. What she ended up doing is just pulling her shoulder blades back, right? But what she didn't do is actually like roll the ball back into the socket, okay? So she still had all this pain. So her pain was, lifting up here and then doing this, she would get pain, okay? Now the reason she got pain is because when she did it, she would shrug and she would come up here, which is causing, again, that impingement versus that. So that versus that. So my arm doesn't move, but my shoulder blade is moving, okay? So with this movement, what we're trying to do is, again, now instead of the shoulder blade moving, we're trying to get our arm to move. So I'm just squeezing right here. So when you're doing those moves and you feel it, like if you're doing that move here, pull that muscle right here.
So how should we stand?
So like here. God, you're getting all the good questions. I love this. So no, this is great. So how do you stand? So this is how I tell my clients.
I'm standing like
Yeah.
at work, and I'm like, how do you?
So go like this. Take your thumbs, go like this, go out 45, and then come back down. Wherever your shoulder blades land, that's it. That's your spot. Now relax, and you see how it goes, boom. And then you pull it out, and here, that's your shoulder blades are in their natural tension. So this is my normal. If I go out and then back down, now,
Correct in person.
I mean, naturally, when you bring your arms up, you're going to kind of correct yourself. And then when you bring it back down, now that shoulder blade is in the good spot. So like the cue of like squeeze your shoulder blades, that's too much. Like you don't want that.
Yeah.
You want your shoulder blade to move. You don't want it to squeeze down. Okay? So that's why I like this cue. So like if we're doing a press or something, I just say reset. That's the word I use, reset. Reset my posture. Feel what that feels like. That's my starting position, and then press through that. So if you're having pain with your lifts, like press, A's, bench, reset. Yeah, dips. Any of those motions, you notice the trend with all those motions is that your shoulder joint is rolling forward with those, right? So you need to roll the shoulder back.
Dips are what caused my problem.
What was that?
Dips are what caused my problem.
That's usually the case, yeah. Yeah. So not necessarily a shoulder blade squeeze, but a roll the humeral head back. So that's your rotator cuff. That's where the rotator cuff comes in pair. Because that's the job of the rotator cuff, that external rotation. And then the stability. Good question. Great question. Okay. Any other questions? Okay. Yeah.
Crepitus, my left.
Love it. Okay. Yeah. So crepitus. Crepitus is like popping and clicking, right? So when we talk to the shoulder blade and the arm bone again, okay? So what happens is if you're getting popping and clicking, generally the shoulder blade is not doing.
When I get away from this hand, laying on the ground and going upwards, I have crepitus.
Okay, got it. So she's having pain with external rotation. That means that she's having problems with the spinning motion of your arm bone. Okay? Same problem, just in a different dimension. Basically, her spinning is when she's doing that motion, I just saw that your arm kind of slid up a little bit. So you're getting that impingement. The ball is spinning, and it's not just spinning like this, it's spinning in her ability to do that. And then getting your strength in the lats to pull it down so it doesn't keep going up. So in our neck and our back are oftentimes the problems. And that's what I mean, like other PTs miss it, because you have to work on your neck and your back to fix your shoulder. It seems really backwards, but that's what you have to do. If you're tight in your neck, the shoulder blade will come up, like with that motion, and then you're going to get the impingement. So you got to loosen up your neck so that sits back down a little bit, and then you have better mechanics. Does that answer your question a little bit? Or are you asking why it pops, or?
It doesn't pop. Like Rice Krispies.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, so that crepitus, or that constant popping, again, is just like instability of the joint, and it's not gliding correctly.
How do you fix that?
So you need to improve your mobility and loosen up your neck, and then work on your stability. So basically, improve your mobility deficits, which is probably your neck, your shoulder blade, and your external rotation, and then strengthen your rotator cuff and your low trap. In simple terms, like it's a process, but it's possible. Yeah, I do it all the time. Oh yeah, for sure, 100%. Yes. So great example is myself. When I don't take care of myself and I get a tight neck, so I pass to not go down to the weeds so much, but I had a roommate in college that slammed my head against the floor. When that happened, I herniated a disc in my neck, lost all function in my left arm. Went completely numb, had no function of it anymore, and I was in clinicals. I had to treat people, and I had a PT that was like, hey, I like do all this stuff, and you got to follow this regimen. She did all the manual therapy, and like now it works. And like, so that's why I'm doing what I'm doing today, is because she fixed me, and without that, I would have had a different life. So like just that knowledge of knowing how to fix it, and then if it ever flares up, I know what to do to fix it and prevent it from getting worse. That's why I want to share. That's why I do so many workshops. Not because I need to, it's because I like the education. Because like you can fix this stuff without surgery and without all the injections and all that stuff. Okay? It's totally possible. Huh?
Ever cortisol?
It's needed sometimes. But cortisol is cortisol, what it does is it actually is catabolic. It'll eat the cartilage. So if you have cartilage in your joints, it'll actually eat it away. And so you don't want to do more injections than you have to. So generally the recommendation is like 2 a year. So every, like, max. So like every 6 months, you know, you don't want to go more than that. Okay? The more you do it, the more you're actually destroying the tissue inside. Now, some surgeons will say, well, I didn't have any. I heard this with my mom because she would get injections all the time in her knees. And the surgeon was like, I told her about this. She went to the surgeon and the surgeon was like, well, she doesn't have any cartilage anyway, so it doesn't matter, you know? So like, you'll hear that, you know, but at the same time, it's still affecting the bones. It's not just eating away the cartilage, it eats away anything. So it's catabolic.
If you have like evidence of like certain pain zones, are you still supposed to work on the full range, or how do you?
You're killing it. I love this.
Popping up when I'm doing this motion, or when I'm bringing down
Yeah.
the bar, it's coming through that ankle, like it just pops on the way down.
Yep. So great question. So she's saying pain with ranges of motion. It pops in certain positions, and basically why, you know? So we have different planes. So this is called the sagittal plane, frontal plane, transverse plane, right? So our shoulders can move in all those directions. Your shoulder blade is most active in this plane. So it's a combination of all of them. It's called the scapular plane, so a 45-degree angle. So if you're having pain with like a lot of the movements, snatches, presses, it's usually in this 45-degree plane, and that's the scapular plane, so that usually means it's a scapular problem, so a shoulder blade problem. So fixing the shoulder blade mobility and stability will fix that popping and clicking in those directions.
Is it like the tendon in front that's popping because the shoulder blade is not moving?
So the popping you're feeling could be a tendon flipping over, so your bicep tendon can slide out of the groove. You can feel that, and sometimes people are like, oh my God, I like tore my shoulder. It felt like oh my God, I tore my shoulder. That's just your bicep tendon sliding out of the groove, and your bicep tendon attaches to the labrum. So if you tore your labrum, generally it's a sign that you used your bicep too much in a bad position, and then it basically tears the inside of your shoulder out because you tore your bicep, you used your bicep too much, okay? But the most people will feel the crepitus in that popping because of shoulder blade positioning. So what I was trying to get at when I told my story about myself, when I do lat flies like this shoulder feels great, this one pops if I'm not taking care of my neck. So if I stretch my neck and like do all the mobility that I need to in my back, the popping goes away. Like I could be doing this, I feel the pop, and then if I do some like foam rolling, it goes away, it's gone. So sometimes it's just like working on the mobility of neck and back that will fix that popping even. It's hard to say because everybody's different, right? It's not black and white. Like some people are tight here, some people are tight here, some people are tight here. You kind of need an evaluation.
Can you do some neck things to show us how to keep the shoulder blade in the right position while you're stretching your neck?
Oh, okay, yeah. So like if you're stretching your neck, what you're gonna notice is that people will stick their head out. Like if you're working, desk job, your head sticks out. You wanna slide your chin back and do a chin tuck. So if you're gonna stretch your neck to the side, like most people will do, what people do is they stick their head out and then they do it. And they're like, I don't feel it. So what you wanna do instead is you wanna slide your chin back and then pull it over. And then that hand that's down, slide it down your leg. Or if you're sitting, sit on it. Like this. Sit on that, and then slide your chin back, and then pull. And then stick your head out, and then do it, and you're like, oh, I don't really feel that so much. And then you slide your chin back, and you're like, whoa, I feel that there, right? So you need to get your chin back, because that's where most people lose it. Way different. So, yeah. And so we can do another workshop, but like there's a whole thing around the neck movement with like lifting, snatches, and how if you stick your head out, you're changing your whole mechanics, right? So with your snatch and stuff. So yeah. Any other questions? Yeah.
Yeah, Dr. Jake. So You said to do all this like 2 to 3 times a week. Like, would you recommend doing that like in the evening, or it doesn't matter like what time of day, or like before you work out?
Yeah.
After you work out, what would you recommend?
Yeah. So I would say the mobility stuff that we did, like the pec stretch, the lat stretch, foam rolling, that stuff's good in the morning or like prior to workout, stuff like that. The Y's, the T's, the W's, all that stuff, I would say, again, prior to a workout would be the best. So like you're trying to create good movement patterns. You're connecting your brain to those muscles before you do the lifts. So that way when you press, instead of just using your bicep, now you're using your scapular muscles because they're more engaged. So, but if there's no really right or wrong about what time of day. I would just say like, put it around the times where you're either one, available, or two, like you're already doing something, if possible. Good question. But yeah, like if you're doing like a lot of like resistance training before bed, you're not going to sleep as well.
Yeah.
So it's better to do that in the morning than before bed. But you can stretch before bed by all means. Yeah. Cool. Other questions? Yeah.
What's the best way to like massage that area back there you can't reach if you have some sort of
Yeah. So the last question we'll take is, because we're over, is how do you massage the back of your back if you can't reach it? So a couple ways. You can use a lacrosse ball if you have like a pinpoint area that you want to get into. But what I would recommend, instead of massage, basically what massage does is it's just taking your nervous system and calming it down a little bit. So like it's calming down the central nervous system and then temporarily getting rid of pain. So the best thing that I would recommend is like generally if you have a trigger point, the reason you have that to begin with is you're either overactive in that area or you're underactive in that area. So for like example, back here, people have trigger points back here because they're underactive. They don't use that enough. And then people get trigger points up here or here because they're overactive and they use it all the time. So depending on what area it is, you do it differently. If it's up here in the front that's overused, you're actually going to be better off doing the opposite. So like doing a back extension. And if you had it back here, you're also better off doing a back extension. So like to treat it, you do a back extension over a foam roll, or like the best thing I like to do is lay on a foam roll, have it horizontally, and then just segmentally arch back and work your back that way. 1 to 2 second, like 2 second holds to 5 second holds. You can even do it like this. If you're at work, bend backwards, hold it 5 seconds, and then relax. That's called the McKenzie method. Robin McKenzie did that, and it helps with preventing and treating herniated discs and pain, so just like, yeah. Yeah, for sure. Yeah. So good. Okay. So we're over time. Let's take a photo, you guys, for everybody that showed up. And then if you have more personal questions or you just have questions in general, grab me afterward, and then we can either set up an appointment or
We already got click the link. Yeah, click the link.
Sweet.
Double pick.
Double pick. Yeah.
Where do you want to go, Jake?